morning. Good morning. Comment allez-vous? Should I say ni hao ma? Wow, look at DAX. DAX and FTSE cutting through. Wow, wow, they're all moving right then and there, huh? Sweet, they all just broke weekly pivots. Well, we've only been there all night, but as soon as I grab the mic, they're breaking. Wow. Anyways, let me remind you that trading's risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results, but always stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, and never risk money you cannot afford to lose. Oh. Is it Arnie or Amy? Can't quite see. I'm getting too old. Arnie, I think, right? Says, thanks for a great session yesterday. Cool. Yeah. Thumbs up. So, g'day, mate. My name is Wayne McDonell. I'm the Chief FX Market Strategist for TradersWay.com. We're an ECN. Try us out. Open a demo account, TradersWay.com. There you will find quick and easy and affordable access to the intermarket system for Forex, energies, metals, and indices. These sessions are every day, 7:30 in the morning, Monday through Thursday at Forex.Today, and every Friday at FX Street. Nice to have you. As of just a couple of minutes ago, we were looking at a market like this, and you can see actually Euro stocks were moving first, huh? Right here is a pivot point, and it was holding all night. Well, looks like DAX did get ahead. All right, whatever. 20 minutes ago, DAX broke, and this one now has broken, which is the FTSE. But they're all moving about the same time. This right here isn't a reversal pivot, but it is a weekly S, as in support. That is the Nikkei. I don't know the most recent number, and I don't think I have it over here, but at one point, the Nikkei was down 5% today. Huh. Very interesting. So let's put this together. You know, Asian market down, European market down, right? And here we go. German market down. Oops. UK market down. What do you think the Dow's going to do? And the S&P 500? Right? Do you think gold will continue up off of the 1 hour 21? Do you think oil will fall? Well, a couple of things to talk about. Gold should kick off the 21 if you're trading technically. And oil, because the 55's in control, says, you know, you should worry about it around 31. It could make a lower. It's actually monthly M2 is at $31.02. The kickoff right here off the 55 is a cautionary tale. Just be careful. It's not expected to do much more. Maybe go down and test 30. That'd be interesting since the market's just opening. Okay, Australia confidence yesterday and conditions were not great. I traded it. The market didn't move that much. It ended up moving just basically on Tokyo Open. Made some pips. I can't remember how many. But, you know, it just seemed to be a market open more than anything. Weekly consumer confidence out of Australia, about as expected. Right? No big deal. Nikkei at one time down 5.1%. I don't know if it was down more. ASX, which is Australia, down 2.8. Closed, right? Need more coffee. Okay, the IEA released a report, their monthly report. Guess what? I underlined it here. Oil production rose in January by 280,000 barrels per day. The oil came from Saudi Arabia, Iran, and Iraq. Wow. Ciao. So this new report suggests that oil prices, right? Oil prices could decline as Iranian output increased as part of the broader surge in OPEC output. They noted that it's hard to see how oil prices could rise significantly if stock building continues. Holy smokes, eh? Did I say that yesterday? Why do they hire all these PhDs, right? Why do they hire all these PhDs and spend millions of dollars building this? You know, I'll do it for 750,000. Shoot. Save them some money. Of course, that's per month. Baltic Dry Index coming out. Should be a great number. What is it going to be? 2? You know what I didn't put down here? Oh, you know what happened in the Asian session yesterday for the first time in the history of the world? 10-year JGBs went to 0. It's not just the JGB, it's a 10-year, John. That's the interesting part. That's interesting. But remember yesterday I was freaking out where the United States is at 1.75. Well, they're at 0. Wow. Clearly people are Japanese government bonds, huh? Wow. How funny, huh? So anyways, yeah, so 8:15, a little bit of news. We can all laugh at that. Mexican CPI. Yeah. Karstens was speaking in the Asian session yesterday, and he was saying that, you know, the problems had to do with low oil prices and nothing else. And that the market's freaking out on the value of the Mexican peso for no good reason except low oil prices. All right, well, anyways, he said it. That's what he said. I'm just here to report the facts, right? Just the facts, ma'am. 10 o'clock wholesale inventories. Whoop, whoop, whoop. That's going to be a great one. And then noon, we get an ag report, supply and demand crop report. So be interesting. How much corn do you think is going to be planted? How much wheat's going to be planted? See what I mean? Then we have some consumer confidence coming out in Australia and Japanese PPI coming out in the Asian session. Cream says Kiwi report, IMF report. What? Not the World Economic Outlook. But if you have a link to share, share. I'll take a look at it later. Okay, and that's the world as we know it as of now. Ciao. So let me give you some green colors. Oh, look, Alarian. Oh, look at that. Hi. Used to run PIMCO. Oh, might have to go get some more coffee. It's the end of the world as we know it. So I got a couple open here. We'll go to a trade I made in Asia. Thank you, Cream. I'll take a look at that. It's not the WEO, but I'll take a look at it. All right, so here we go. This is what I did in Asia, and the bulk of the work was me sleeping. And how does it look? What do you stink? How did Uncle Wayne do? Good trade? Can you figure out what I did? That's more important, right? Is it repeatable? Is it conservative? Is it repeatable? And if so, then it's just one of dozens, right? What was the trigger? I don't know. Probably look good on a 15-minute chart. Yeah, so I took it in here, most likely. Roll reversal, right? So let's take a look. Roll reversal. Obviously, also resistance, right? Because it's a pivot, old pivot zone. And something in there, you know, hard to tell. I might have taken a cycle on a 5-minute based on front running a inevitable Stokes cross on 15. Oh, come on. So let's say we were about here. Let's go into a 5. So yeah, I don't know. Something like that. Don't know, yo. Swing trade. Okay. But it looks like, oh, and a psych level? Yeah, you look, I just sold it basically at 76. Right? 76.93. I don't know. Maybe that's all there was. Probably overbought on an hourly chart. Break of a psych level. Pull back, retracement to a roll reversal at a psych level. I dumped it. Yeah, probably nothing complicated. And then went to bed. I've always said my best trading is when I'm in bed sleeping. I do my best work in bed, baby. So that's it, right? Nothing else to it, really. Sorry, it's not more dramatic. And now I can't lose money. Let it run, let it run, let it run, let it run. Oh, Chuck wants a roll reversal. You know what? All right, well, I'm here. Let's see if it'll draw this. Okay. You see how this was support at one point? Right? I don't know if you can see this, but let me change the color of my drawing tool. Price eventually came down, broke that support. Okay. What happens to support once it's broken? What does it become? It becomes resistance. So its role in the market is reversed from support to resistance. Price comes back up. What do you do now? Sell. Okay. Price makes a new lower low. That old support here, drag it across, becomes resistance. Comes up. Sell. Makes a new lower low. This is old support. Drag it across. Becomes resistance. Price retraces. Sell. And then once it reverses, check it out. Was support. Look, it did act as resistance, as you can see, right? Drag it across. Oh, snap. Seriously? So here's the reverse. Bye, bye, bye. I don't know. And you can take it over and over and over if you want it on the smaller time frames, right? Remember, don't have fun. Don't have fun. This is serious. Serious stuff. It's war, man. It's war. It's kill or be killed. All right. Do you guys remember doing this? Starting to look plausible, huh? Yeah, is it a Gartley? I don't know. I'm too stupid for Gartley, so I don't really use them. It's just my prediction, right? Here's what it is. Oops. Okay, low, high. What's supposed to happen now? Right? Now, if you're a bear, right? Now what? If you're a bear, you've done it differently because your opinion's different. You're saying, oh, it's going to do this. And then you have to say, well, if you're a bull, what do you want? And so that's all. Whether that's a Gartley or not, I don't know. But I did attend an event many years ago. I won't go into the story because most people have heard it 10 times. But he was talking about how, this angle and that angle to this angle to that angle to this angle. And he was going like, well, then this has to be a 12-degree angle and this has to be a 72-degree angle. And I'm like, really? Is this geometry? Seriously? Oh, they. My question is, well, why wouldn't you just buy it at support? Like, right? Just like, why do you make it so complicated? And then I realized, right, it's a way for you to earn the love and respect and admiration of your parents who didn't spend enough time with you as a child. And then you can say, see, mommy, see how smart I am? See how complicated this is? I can make it so complicated, yet it makes sense to me. Aren't you proud of me? Don't you love me? Right? Now you should respect me, Dad. But, I don't know. So if Gartley's work for you, that's cool. But I think just buying at support and selling at resistance is a lot more, how do smart people say it? A lot more easy and a lot more simple. So whatever. So it's just there are bulls and bears in this, and you just have to understand what each is going to do. That's all. But that's just WTI, whatever. And then, of course, this doesn't take any fundamentals into consideration, so you also have to be a little bit careful, right? So oil. Let's take a look at some kitty cat. It's the end of the world as you know it. I feel fine. So remember, I have to remind you every day because it's my job. The secret to success is having an opinion and strategy ahead of time. If you open your charts and look for a trade, you are doomed. So if you want USD CAD to go down, for example, you should be preparing. This oscillator doesn't look good, so maybe a bit later, or maybe it goes up to the next higher level first. Maybe it wants to come up, actually tickle 40 and then come down. But this tells me maybe at London close. So if you're a bear, another way of saying it, if you're a bear, you want to do a couple of things. One, identify support and resistance. If you're a bear, actually specifically resistance, right? So a bear might want to sell here. A bear might want to sell here. Those are just two levels. If we're at these levels, and if I'm a bear, I may choose to sell because I'm the one in control. I'm not in control of whether it goes up there. I'm just in control of whether I sell now or sell later or not sell at all. Right? Isn't that the secret to success? So if you think Canadian dollar is going to get strong or the USD will get weak, right? Whatever, then you can look for timing issues now where if the oscillator was overbought, that would be so much better, wouldn't it? So I would kind of trap it, trade it like it's in a range here. Okay. And maybe it comes down and then at some point you get in and you start selling rallies. What it feels like to me is if this wants to go up, this might want to go up, tickle the psych level of 40, and then drop it like it's hot, drop it like it's hot, drop it like it's hot, if that's what you want. Okay. Now, what if you want the Canadian dollar to weaken? That means you want oil prices to go down. Nothing wrong with that. This isn't a great setup. Okay, bulls, what should bulls do? Bulls should identify a market that looks like this. It kind of was doing it earlier. Buy, buy, buy. What the? Right? Something's not cool in there, right? Hey, Joseph. What's up? Been a long time, buddy. So it's losing some steam, right? And so, like I said, I would basically play it like a range. Home, home on the range. Which means, if you were down at support down here, you could buy it if you were a bull. Okay, you have the oscillator, but you're not at support. You know what I tend to do with oscillators that are not at support? What do you mean hit by a car? Can't be hit by a car, Joseph. You were just entering good karma again. 74 days in the hospital. Holy smokes. That sucks. He didn't deserve that, Joseph. Yeah, if I have a perfect oscillator cross, but I'm not at support or resistance, it's dead to me. It's fool's gold. Loo-hoo, sucker. Okay. What it feels like to me, it's funny how I come up with that. I said it twice today now. What it feels like is a rollover. That means what? Oil up, huh? Is that what it feels like to you, anybody? Yeah, Joseph, it does sound bad. Sounds real bad. Guy says oil feels neutral, and that's probably fair. I mean, that's probably the right answer. And if anything, this is just settling down somewhere, right? But what I would like to see, if you don't mind, and it's not going to happen today, but it might happen in the next 6 to 8 weeks. One, OPEC agrees to a cut in production. Now, I think many members of the OPEC board are liars. That's not political, is it? Are not telling the truth. They're lying to each other. No, it's true though. Like if Saudi Arabia cuts, I said it yesterday, the Russians will lie and they won't cut. Venezuela won't lie. They won't, or will lie, they won't cut. So Saudi Arabia cuts by 500,000 barrels a day, and I wouldn't be shocked if a million barrels a day show up in the market. But whatever. Right? Yeah, Iran will be there, so whatever. But let's say they just announce it. That's enough for the market to say, well, we've printed bottom. 25 is the bottom, let's say. And maybe before we get there, we double bottom at 25. I, I have I have no qualms about having this go back to down to 25. It doesn't it's this whole market right now is not moving on supply and demand. It's moving on pure emotion. And until I see a hardcore double bottom, then I'm going to expect to see a hardcore double bottom. Okay, but whatever. So OPEC needs to cut. And two, we need more QE. So Europe, China, Japan. What do you think? Okay, so QE goes up. So what I'm asking for is actually, right, supply down, anticipated supply down, even though that's probably wrong, and an anticipated increase in demand, which is also on the short term probably wrong, but anticipated, right? So demand up, supply down, what happens to price? Oil goes back to what, 40 to 50? See, if it gets to 60, the frackers just bring back down to 40. Okay. What do you think? So if we can get a couple of those things, or those two things, then maybe we print bottom and we end the year at 55. If price at support or resistance, but oscillator somewhere in line. You usually need to wait, Artem. If you take the shot, there's just more risk associated with it. So you better be, let's say maybe your timing is good, like it's right before the London Open or right before the New York Open, and you're aggressive and you want to take a shot, then cool. Okay. But ask yourself right before you pull the trigger, are the fish jumping into the canoe? Right? Are you in a canoe just kind of like cruising around the lake randomly hoping to find fish? I'd say get out of your canoe, go to the store, spend some money, buy a fish finder, then go then go fishing. So I don't know. Make sure the conditions are ripe, where like you're just like, oh man, this is it. So this is the S&P 500. How does this look to you? Bullish? You guys remember drawing this channel late last week, huh? So it's interesting how we actually came down and touched the bottom of the channel. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Eventually, what I would like to see is, sort of a situation like this, a breakout of the channel. And that's where I go more aggressively risk on again. But remember, I'm not going to reverse the market from fearful to aggressive, right? That's what I do, Amanda. I'm glad. I hope it's leading to success. I'm assuming it's teaching you success. So, like when I do events around the world, and I'd like to do a few of them this year, I just haven't traveled in so many years. So I think this might be the year of me traveling. Um, I'm going to try to meet up in two or three places in the first half of the year. The second half of the year, I might not actually be available. So if you guys want to like if you're finding success, it'd really be cool to meet you in person, like in Dubai or Johannesburg or Singapore, that kind of stuff. So Euro USD up, S&P 500 looks like down, right? Boop. So that's just that there. This says it kind of wants to come down a bit. That puts us maybe, well, if I'm a bull, you want to find some support lines, right? It's the end of the world as you know it. This one's weird, right? Got to find your markets where you either want to be in or you want to be out. That trend is not good on the shorter term. Okay. So if you look at the commitment of traders report, people are buying euro this time. You guys remember a few months ago, euro USD was going up, but no one was buying it. Now it's going up and people are buying it. Sam, yeah, it's an interesting question, huh? How about buy oil? Japan should stockpile oil. They're going to buy it anyways, right? Japan doesn't have any oil supplies. Yeah, they need it anyways. Why not just buy a whole bunch of it right now? Come on, come on, come on, no touch my baby. Can't you see? Let's see, where should I go from here? Which is the way that's clear? Well, let's see. Someone made it a request. Oh, Pissy? Boris wants Pissy. Sure, why not? Pound Swiss. Well, we got a problem over here. Okay, first of all, it's a daily reversal pivot and weekly reversal pivot area. And then there's the monthly M1, which is a reversal. So what's supposed to happen based on technical analysis is somewhere in here should be support. In fact, probably something like this. So we need some sort of risk on. Okay. So, you guys asked me to do technical analysis, but this is all the same thing. What do you do when it's risk off? What do you buy? US dollar, Japanese yen, Swiss franc, Singapore dollar. Yeah, you can throw some gold in there if you want. Well, let's do it this way. X, A, U. Right? So let me blow your mind. Oops, wrong one. Boop. All right, let's blow your mind. Cool, huh? This is Great British Pound versus Singapore dollar. Right? Would you say money has started to flow to Singapore in the last 5 days? Warren, Google it. It'd be low. It'd be like 0. But it's an interesting safe haven flow, isn't it? Okay. This is the last 3 months. Do you think this is money flowing out of China? Check this out, right? What used to be support became resistance. What used to be support became resistance. So somewhere in the future, you're going to sell here, maybe next week. I just predicted your future. Isn't that neat, guys? That's money flowing out of China into safe havens. So Singapore, well, let's do this. Let's do this academically, right? All right, welcome to Harvard, right? Let's say, how would I do this? Okay, I'll do it this way. Middle East is to Switzerland, right? Swiss bank accounts, as China is to what? Sing dollar. Because Singapore is Asia's Switzerland. And I think about 3 years ago, Singapore became larger than Switzerland as far as holding foreign money in bank accounts. Singapore has more private capital in its banks than Switzerland. So it's just the Asian Switzerland. It's China's Switzerland. So if you're rich, a millionaire, billionaire in China, and you're sneaking your money offshore, that's what you're doing with it. Okay? So that's safe haven flows. And before the Singapore dollar, what do you think was the currency for Singapore? Great British Pound. Ringgit. Pig. It was the pig, man. Great British Pound. Bum, 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 bum. So anyways, just a little history lesson there. So Swiss, though, stronger. As you can see by the velocity and the change of money. Right? Or maybe not. Let's put this on a 5-minute. Well, definitely. Okay. Now keep in mind though, most Asian banks are closed right now. It's a safe haven, first of all, because their currency is backed by silver. Meaning, if they print a Swiss franc, they have to buy a certain amount of silver by law. So yes. Okay. What should we do? Where should we go? Looking around. I think we kind of need the S&P 500 to open today. Figure out whether we're going to go back risk on or risk off. You probably already know what you want to do, which is fine. I'm looking around. There's not a lot of change. Like a lot of the good trades were set up a couple of days ago. So now it's just whether they continue or not. You kind of have to be there. So I'm just kind of looking around. Um, Pound dollar, great. You know, if we can get some dollar strength, we can continue selling off the pig. Right? So what's your favorite currency when you're just kind of bumming around trading? Okay. Um, why is all this mixed up? Pig dollar, CAD, pig, pig. Guess we'll go this one. Yeah, see, nice little set off right off the weekly. Caught between the pivots. Ugh. Ugh. So like if you were a bear, there was an easy peasy trade. Now it's not easy because we're close to some support. Monthly, weekly pivot right in here. Can't get involved now, right? Because I need a lower low. So I kind of need it to break all of this. So it looks like I'll probably can't even trade this till tomorrow, right? It's got to break low, then retrace and use this area as resistance, right? Probably 12 hours early on this one. So forget about that. So here comes the news. Well, Anthony, in that case, what you would look at is setting up an offshore corporation and electing for the corporation to have a trading account, that kind of stuff. Where people get into trouble is that they open up an offshore business, put capital into the bank account, and then live off the credit card. And you're walking around buying yourself, watches and dinners and vacations and stuff on your corporate offshore credit card, and that just makes you a liar and a thief, and the government will show you no mercy. But if it's a legitimate business, so what happens is, let's say you open up an offshore account or offshore business, and then fund the bank account, and then the corporation opens up a trading account, and you're trading your corporation's money, and let's say make $100,000 over the course of the year, and you decided to make a distribution. You decide to pay yourself the $100,000. So then that is personal income and should be declared on your taxes, and you need to pay taxes on personal income. If you do that, I'm not a lawyer, so you're going to have to talk to a lawyer, but that should be legal, right? But when you never pay yourself and you're running around spending money on a credit card on personal items and not declaring that as income, then you're going to go to jail. So what? Um, what do you want to do? Aussie dollar finally broke 70. Is there anything to do now? Aussie yen is about to touch 80. Right? The question is there anything kind of to give you now? And it seems like a lot of your trades, like I look at Aussie yen, if you didn't sell it in Asia today, I just wonder, like, why would you want to do something now? Right, so let me give you some eye candy. Um, right. So again, if you don't know what you're going to do, strategically, your tactical stuff's just never going to work out. So, like, let's say Aussie dollar here, or sorry, Aussie yen. You see, this is the London Open. Okay. If you didn't sell that, then you're just not a bear, right? And that's so straightforward and easy. It's a pivot, midpoint psych level, roll reversal. If you were a bear, you would have sold that. Okay, so like, what are you doing now? Is the question. Like, are you just turning bearish now? Well, this is so out of position that most likely it's going to miss and knock you out anyways, right? Or this and knock you out because you're out of position with no plan and no strategy. So, it's just, you're going to get knocked out. So I don't know what to do now, right? Well, what about USD yen? The question is, I like scalping USD yen because the spreads are so low. But if it's risk off, what did I say was likely to be strong? Yen and dollar. So wouldn't you be better selling an Aussie yen or a Kiwi yen or CAD yen or something like that if the global macroeconomics are poor today, right? Sell something, sell a commodity currency, buy some yen. Okay. But my favorite trade is the break of a cycle level retracement. I actually did this yesterday. I think I scalped 70 pips yesterday in the Asian session. And one of them is similar to this, right? Where's the cycle level? This is the cycle level. Okay. So one of my favorite trades, ideally you're in a strong trend. But test of the psych, break of the psych, retest short. I think I probably did this at the same price at 115. Can't remember yesterday in Asia. So long ago. Oh, 116. Yeah, so it was this. Sell. Right? What was it? Took a long time, huh? Ciao. Right? Roll reversal. Ciao. Well, that's what I said, Lucas, that we're going to test 80, but um, there's nothing going on right this second, Lucas, that says that it can't just go to 79. So one thing I don't like doing is picking bottoms. Now the joke is, it's a strategy that always stinks, right? But if it's falling, just sell rallies. So the basic reality of being a trader is ask yourself, what's the trend? Okay? Amateurs inevitably say they buy in a downtrend, right? Inevitably, an amateur buys in a bearish market, they sell in a bullish market. Since you're not an amateur anymore, you need to decide what is the trend. And if you say down, then I don't care what time frame you're on, whether it's the 5 minute or the hour, let's say, you're selling rallies. Okay? So if you say, well, look at Aussie yen at 80, so what? Who cares? Right? Somebody tried to tell me yesterday in Asian session to buy USD yen at 115. I'm like, no. Right? It's a big psych level. Yep, psychologically important. There's just no way you could possibly do it. And sure enough, it went to 114. Saved that guy 100 pips. So, Oren, what I was saying is, if you look at the commitment of traders report, right? They're buying euro. That's it. Do you need to know more why? But there's no and this is what I've been saying all month since the Fed meeting and the ECB meeting. There's no reason now for the euro to be weak, right? And there's no real reason at the moment for the US dollar to be strong. And it comes down to policy. We know the ECB is doing quantitative easing. Great. We know the Fed's raising interest rates. Great. Those trades have already been made. So what is going to happen to make the euro even weaker than it's been? And what's going to make the dollar be even stronger than it's been? Well, at this point, nothing. And that, in of itself, is the reason. If the dollar is not going to get any stronger, isn't that a bottom? Well, I guess I should say it the other way. If the dollar's not going to get any stronger, isn't that a top? And if the euro's not going to get any weaker, isn't that a bottom? And that's the reason. Silly, isn't it? If the ECB had announced or said they're going to add to quantitative easing instead of talking about it, if they actually said, yep, in 6 months we're going to do more quantitative easing, euro would be way down right now. We'd be testing parity. Yeah. Well, Rick, I would say hire me to do a mentorship, but I don't really think I have any more time. March and April are booked. Yeah, maybe you could do a 2-week mentorship with me. I don't know. I can fix that, but anyways, time is my issue. So anyways, yen coming down. So I don't know. We need a central bank coordinated response, right? But right now, if the market is risk off, then that's fine. That's fine. We're just unwinding, right? Euro USD was way down. We're unwinding it. USD yen was way high. We're unwinding it because everything's been priced in, and we've developed tops and bottoms. What we need is a change in policy because the current policies have been priced in. People have already made their money and they're done. And let me again preface this that I told you 6 months. I told you in August, July and August of last year that the yen would be strong in January. Now, I did say it'll probably weaken again in February and then get strong again in March, but things have changed since July. But the strategy, I think, is still completely valid, right? Between January 1st and April 1st, the yen gets strong. And it is. It's unfortunate. I'm more worried about the stock market. I don't want it to go too low, but it doesn't seem unwarranted. But, I don't mind blood in the streets. I just don't want people panicking. So anyways, let me say goodbye. Peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May your profits be above average. And tomorrow we have Janet Yellen speaking. Whoop, whoop, whoop. That could be interesting. Grandma Yellen's taking the mic. Yeah, I think it'll be interesting what she says, or it doesn't say. Oh, did that Baltic Dry Index come in? Yeah, a new record low, 291. Thank you, Baltic Dry Index. Wow. So anyways, peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May your profits be above average. I'll see you tomorrow, huh? Take care of yourself. You hear?